back again for more live reactions to Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger. Dinosaur. I think that's a good one. Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger with the jaws. I like.
He just made that up on the spot.
I just made that up. I feel like that's been a pose for one of the for one of the Dino Rangers.
I feel like that's got to be like.
I think that
one
was
of the. I feel like that's got to be like the alligator from like.
Yeah.
The animal Sentai you were watching.
Oh.
Not that they have an alligator, but.
What, Ryusoulger?
Yeah, I feel like that would be a alligator.
Actually, one of the Rangers does have a crocodile form.
Does he do this?
I think I forget now.
Because it really.
I forget the exact poses.
It's a crocodile to me, or an alligator. Do you know the difference between a crocodile and an alligator?
Crocodile's a little smaller. There's like a ridge thing. I don't know. But that doesn't matter though, because
which one's in Florida?
Alligators. But it doesn't matter though, because as we've established, dinosaurs, birds.
This is true.
Birds are dinosaurs, etc. So.
Well, but birds are also
reptiles, not relevant. What's that?
Birds are also pretty much reptiles, so.
No. Birds are warm-blooded, though.
Yeah, I said pretty much reptiles.
That's a notable difference. I don't actually know. I don't recall now if dinosaurs were warm-blooded or cold-blooded.
I have no idea.
They have a similar bone structure to birds, though.
Yes, they do.
So
and
yes,
they probably had feathers.
We are back for more of the crazy, wacky Dino adventures. Three amigo red Tyrannos over here.
Jake, watching you try and put that Tyrannosaurus back into Tyrannosaurus form.
Oh, what, the movie Tyrannosaurus?
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
I don't know how kids are supposed to do that.
The joints are super tight. Like, I don't know how a kid is supposed to be able to do that. Like, what are they feeding kids nowadays?
I don't know.
Just nothing but spinach. Nothing but spinach.
Or carrot sticks.
Carrot sticks too. There you go. All right. So yeah, we had our first live stream of Sentai on Saturday, so that was fun. So in case you missed it, feel free to check out our first ever movie reaction for the Lupat summer movie. That was fun. And now we're. Whoop. Stop knocking things over.
I was just getting my drink, and your not pies for Pie Day started falling over.
Well, you clearly touched them. Anyway.
The table shook a little.
Well, indeed, that better. Alright. But yeah.
We got Enderman's Minis apples for Pie Day.
Yeah, because they're pies. The word pie is on there. They are snack pies. They are snack pies.
They're not pies.
They are pies for snacking. So yeah, last week we were introduced to the Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger, a society of hidden knights who
live in the
live in Mount Fuji National Park and
may or may not club people over the head with sledgehammers.
I so want to see the return of the Mind Wiper. That was the most amazing. There was a fantastic Zord battle in that episode, and the Mind Wiper is still the most amazing thing. So before we get our minds wiped and forget what we're doing, let's dive into episode 2 of Kishiryu Sentai Ryusoulger. Soul is One.
Soul is One. We have lyrics this time, but we've only practiced a few times, so.
Magical sound is back.
Test break.
Oh, looks like we're diving right into the opening credits. Go! We'll try and sing over a little bit. Oh, we got a little black. I'm blank through. Oh, no. Oh, there's Tatsui Yui. We do not have this anywhere near down. I'm going to do some commentary here on how everything is very shiny, and I like the stained glass little elements there.
I can't do this with you talking over it.
We're trying to mumble through, but you know we will get this down as we move along.
You are throwing me off so bad. That's why I'm doing this.
I'm sorry.
I had this much better in the practice run where you weren't singing.
Yeah, that's true. And I had it much better in my practice one when you were singing. And
who's Tiramigo? What's a Tiramigo? She doesn't know either.
Oh, he named his Dino Knight. Tiramigo. Oh, that's cute.
To eat maybe? The bathroom?
That's a good point. Hey,
look. That's not as baka as you say. The Dino Knight is gone. Let's find him. Well, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. They were fierce rivals even back then. Okay, so the
that asteroid has done so many different things.
Well, as I understand it, all the Sentai are like separate universes to one another, aren't they?
Sort of, when they feel like it.
Unlike ours, which are like...
That Minosaur thing is awesome.
In the same comic.
Oh, the monsters are born from negative... Oh, that's why they're Minosaurs, because it's negative emotion.
Minus. Negative. Got it.
I think that's the idea.
I was thinking Minosaur was like Minotaur.
That's what I was thinking as well at first.
Whoop.
Hey, Tsutsui!
Every time she shows up, the slapstick begins.
She's delightful, though. Okay, I think that's Black Ranger? Maybe.
I think he's got a cramp.
Nope, what? Nope. Okay, so apparently the Minosaurs are born from humans.
Okay, and his negative emotion in this case would be, like, he is completely exhausted from running too much?
I guess so.
Okay.
Oh, interesting. She's done a lot of research.
Melto is super excited.
Yep. Kishiryu. That's a cool name. Okay,
he's a paleontologist.
There we go. He's a paleontologist.
That's what he is.
That's what he is. That's what he is. Can they? Was that? Random people want to stay
Of course
here.
they can.
It's like, yeah. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, they are delightful.
Yeah, I had a feeling he was going to be all like, of course you can.
Yeah, but you be nice to my little Tsutsui. Oh, interesting.
He is the most supportive dad.
It's super sweet.
I love him.
Oh, so they're gonna look into all the different sites he's researched. Definitely seen this reservoir before.
Audio Soul.
Are we gonna hear some Motown?
What do your elf ears hear?
This is sounds like metal clashing. fencing. Nice. That's always fun. I haven't fenced
Could this be
in
black
so
and green?
long. Maybe.
Oh.
Yep, they're foil fighting. Oh, and I think this is the guy from earlier.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
So that's his negative emotion.
Yeah, green and black could be here. They gotta find them. Red is kind of adorable. He's very innocent.
This is so funny. But this guy's got a serious case of like bad sportsmanship.
Well, he's determined to beat this other guy who we haven't seen how he actually is in combat.
No, but if they made a Minosaur out of him, then something's not right.
Entirely possible.
About his attitude towards his sport.
Oh wait. It's his family.
He hasn't seen his daughter in 2 years. Well, that was stupid.
I know that's... I feel like that's a thing. Ko, you have no understanding of, like, anything, do you?
No, not really. He's every bit as socially inept as you.
Something's going on with him. He's got a connection to the Minosaur, it seems.
It does seem. And he's having the same, like...
Oh, and he's got a foil as well. More of a regular. I used to fence saber back in college, and it was super fun.
Real fencing!
Yeah.
Starting in 10 minutes.
Okay, so we're gonna...
We get that samba every time, apparently.
I guess so. It's interesting that we get these little dancing souls around them. Knight of Valor. We got Knight of Wisdom.
Not right in my sock.
And Knight of Vigor.
Yeah, I have to sit on one of my
sort of
own
two
legs
musketeers.
to be remotely as tall as him.
Yeah, and a pillow.
And a pillow.
And you also have the Wii Fit board under your feet.
That's so that I have something to push against to get up. That's a little higher than the floor.
Yeah, he's a good sword fighter, just like the human that he's based upon.
I'm in desperate need of a booster seat.
This is interesting in that it's something that we haven't, I think, seen from Sentai in a while. But we used to occasionally. Well, sword battles I always enjoy. But in terms of the monster being linked to a human, I feel like...
Speed Soul. Stank Soul?
No, wrong one. Wrong one. No, this is not going to go well. We're going to get the Dino gas. It's just like the Dino gas charger.
What is your problem?
Why? He apparently didn't like it either. So stinky.
Whoa!
Ah! Oh man.
A phalanx.
Yes. I was searching for that word. These are extremely well-armed foot soldiers. You don't usually get them. Like
these mooks are, like I said.
Oh, Kieran's giving us a little explanation on how they work.
Settle down already?
He apparently just wants to fight everybody. Okay, so they can just keep draining energies from humans. That's how they operate. Whoa! That was wow.
That's a big damn problem.
Yes, and I won't dock you because he did just destroy a dam. Hey, it's Tanky Joe. Good old Tanky Joe.
A new point card? Adjourned? So someone was saying in the comments that apparently the checkered thing isn't race cards, it's chess.
Yes, yes. Well, I wasn't thinking it was race cards. You were thinking it was race cards.
I said race cards. That's why they came back. To exterminate. Well, yeah, the mushroom basically just told you that.
Yep. So they know that he's based off the guy.
Yeah, now he's sick in bed until they deal with the monster.
But yeah, we've occasionally in the past seen, you know, monsters based that are linked or based off humans in Power Rangers. I don't know how often it's happened in Sentai. Oh, there goes more of his energy. This is something that is a little bit more of a Kamen Rider trope, actually.
Yeah, you have mentioned that happening in several times.
A lot of times Kamen Rider series will have look-see! Vision Soul.
No way you're gonna get that lucky.
Oh, did he spot her? Spotted his family. That's a nifty soul.
He decided he wanted to become the best for our sake and moved out.
I feel like that's a Japanese honor thing.
Okay,
I feel like I've seen that trope before.
I have seen that trope before, but the thing of it is,
it's always a weird trope.
It's like, so in order to prove that you're the awesomest father, you're going to abandon your family?
Like I said.
I mean, is he sending his earnings home to them, or did he just?
I can only presume as such. Okay.
Because Japan isn't exactly big on working mothers.
Yeah, he must be sending her earnings home. Rya's so cool.
I mean, they're getting better, but it's still, they're not very well supported.
Right. Oh, what did she find? Social media, baby.
I've seen that thing before.
That's great.
She put out the call on Twitter. Has anyone seen this robot?
Yeah. That's great.
And she's not entirely wrong.
Wait, so
because,
nice. Good old ball and chain.
The thing I still remember is a few years ago when we had that earthquake, but it was a really little earthquake.
Yeah.
So a lot of people didn't feel it.
Yeah.
The only way I was able to confirm that there had been an earthquake was to go on Twitter and see everybody else.
This is where they're holding the fencing competition that he was concerned with. He's determined to be #1. So he's driven by the same thing that drove the human.
Antelope?
He's chilling at the zoo? Weird.
All you had to say was Minosaur. I'm there.
I like that Blue and Pink are once again fighting against giant monsters themselves. Now we get to see Turmigo to the rescue. That is so Kishiryu right there. I remember the second episode of Dino Charge. Rexy did the same thing. Right, just boom.
This city is going to need to apply a lot of budget to repaving their roads.
Yep, that's. I remember that same thing in Dino Charge. Nice. Got quite the armament. So
they have now dug up the road sufficiently enough that he can put dirt in the other guy's face with a sword.
Yep.
I really hope there wasn't a subway under this road.
I'm sure everything's fine.
I really hope there was nobody in that building. It's a Sentai, so I'm sure there were. Unlike Power Rangers, where they would make a point to tell you it was the warehouse district.
Tiramigo, what's up?
Your amigo's taking a nap.
That's not good. I just noticed Red has kind of a mohawk thing going on. It's pretty spiffy. Oh, we're getting a buzz. A little bit of buzz. Oh, but only a little. The only limits are the ones we allow. Sure. Never give up. Step over that little thing there.
It's a bridge joiner.
Wait, isn't that really?
Seriously?
You're giving him another stink? Oh, he's much bigger now. Beefy soul? What's beefy
What are they
soul?
gonna do?
I didn't notice before the eyes kind of change as you do the little chompy chomp. Oh, okay, that's beefy. Sure. He gets super
Oh, they're
stretchy.
closing its mouth, so it has to breathe through its nose.
Apparently. This is elaborate. Wow. This is
I love how they've got so many powers that
impressive.
it's kind of like having like a whole pocket full of Q-tums.
Well, basically.
Off the bat.
Yeah. They've got a lot of these things. I was thinking it was going to be more of a collect them all process, but it looks like they already have quite the arsenal.
Yeah.
You okay?
Yeah. And I just put my foot under me again. I took it out earlier.
Alright, dear
Started to
amigo,
fall asleep,
come on,
but
wake
I was
on
too
up.
low.
Oh,
Amigo's awake.
there he goes. He got knocked out a little bit, but he's back. Tira. It's like a Pokemon. Alright. Alright, time to unite souls and something. Our souls is one. Okay. Alright, toss the little soul into him. And apparently that makes him shoot out a fireball. Oh no, toss the soul onto him. Oh, the soul grew and oh, here we go. We're getting we're getting the transformation process. Oh, that's spiffy. And then the Ryusoul becomes the head. Cool.
And now he's inside.
I dig it. That was a nice transformation. I like it.
It was. I love this sword.
Oh, it's very reminiscent of
I love how much it allows the stunt actor inside
to move. It's very reminiscent of Go Buster Ace, but actually even more flexible because it's got the slimmer legs.
This guy is literally actually truly running and jumping.
And it's so great. Ooh. Tail whip. And yeah, just the Zord on its own has so many weapons.
Ah!
Look, it can... What is happening? Okay, so it's got a crazy
Dino gun.
Yeah. It's very similar to the sort of armor that he wears. It's got the tail coming up here.
Yeah.
It's very much like one of their armors.
Yeah, one of their right arm contraptions.
Those Lego pegs are make it very modular.
That could be a problem.
Kirion is very helpful. What did he just see? What did he saw? But yeah, Tank Joe seems to be a rook, and I get the impression that the that the mooks are the pawns with the checkerboards.
So what's
for
the
their shields.
mushroom, a bishop?
I have no idea. Maybe. But I don't know.
You know what that means, though? Who's ever in charge is the king.
Okay, maybe the queen?
The queen is one of the most powerful pieces on the board. I would expect if their queen was in charge, that we'd see them on the battlefield.
That's fair. Well, the queen might be the big fight with the king being, some sort of immobile something or another. There you go. She's like, I'm gonna get so many likes.
Oh no! The mushroom just snuck up on Ui.
Oh dear.
I think that's what she saw across the rooftop.
What's going on here?
Oh! The ancient dude, maybe?
I don't know. Okay. Okay. I'm mirroring. Are you not?
No, I was doing the dance, not mirroring.
Okay, I'll try and not mirror then. Now you
it changed when the cards came across.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't realize that.
We're getting this. We should just mirror. I'm very, very right right now.
The thing is, there's so much one-arm stuff that is clearly meant to be done with your right arm. But we'll mirror this part.
Yeah, I think that I think mirroring is our best shot, huh?
Alright, but I'm still using my right arm for the things where they just swing their right arm around.
Oh, now we're doing the okay, now we're just flailing. Ah! That's fun. More kaboom! Okay, so we get to meet Green and Black next time. Looks like.
You guys are so weak.
Oh no, what's gonna happen to Yui?
Yui, we're gonna save you. Well, last we saw, the mushroom was snuck up behind Yui.
Yeah.
Ui. Ui.
It's the little.
If it was meant to be Yui, they would have transliterated with a Y.
Yeah, it's Ui.
Ui.
Tetsui Ui.
That's Ui Ui.
Who's her and her father, grandfather, or whichever he is, are adorable.
I think it's her father.
I'm not 100% sure, actually. I didn't quite catch that part.
But she's adorable.
They are both adorable.
They.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's father.
Yeah.
Just double checking.
Because the reason that he's as old as he is, and you're thinking grandfather, is because Tatsui Ui is clearly a young adult, not a teenager.
Yeah. But casting's also always weird on TV. So I wasn't 100% sure.
No, I think, she's back in middle school. I'm pretty sure, and she's running around doing
Oh, yeah. No,
I'm pretty sure she is an adult.
Yes.
An adult.
But I couldn't quite tell how old he was supposed to be because he had the hat and the glasses, and I couldn't quite make out his features well enough to gauge age very well. Or how old she was necessarily supposed to be, young adult or what age?
Or like college student. No, I think she's like young adult, like, maybe
20s.
Yeah, early 20s.
Yeah. But she was very helpful.
Yes.
She just pops in and is helping out, and they don't even really question it. What about the mind wiper? That's what I want to know. That's the pressing question.
I feel like Tatsui might be on the spectrum.
Entirely possible. We'll need to see a little bit more of her. But I like that her and her grandfather, or her and her father. I don't know why I kept thinking grandfather. Her and her father are going to be very helpful with her social media access and his paleontology records.
And apparently a place to stay.
Yep.
Since their village was destroyed.
And he's just down with that, and it's like...
You're friends with my Ui?
Like, she never brings friends over.
You can totally stay.
That's great. I know that in
but I mean, when you
Jyoger,
think about
they had
it,
a similar kind of premise
the Ryusoulgers are just as socially inept as she is in this world.
Yeah, especially Ko.
Yeah.
Ko does not seem to know how interactions work with anybody.
No, Ko is probably still socially inept even in his village.
You seem that way.
Whereas the other two...
He feels younger than the rest.
The other two are having, like, some social issues, but it's mostly culture clash because they came from a completely different hidden culture.
Right. But they at least seem to recognize, like, tact and discretion.
And they also realize they're in a different culture than their own and are trying to make adjustments.
Yeah.
Whereas Ko is just like... Ko is just like...
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da!
Yep.
I'll set my other foot. My foot keeps falling asleep.
But, I do find this this whole mechanism with the monsters is interesting. It's something a little bit different for Sentai.
I wonder what... See, they took it, obviously, in this case, I think when we go back to it, the negative emotion they took was desperation. Something
like that, yeah.
I thought it was going to be like bad sportsmanship or whatever, but it's desperation. He has to do this so he can go home.
Right.
It's... But if they're about to make a monster out of Ui, what would hers be?
I don't know.
Is it maybe loneliness?
There's maybe something relating to, how...
Because she's got no friends?
Maybe it's something relating to gotta get those clicks. I don't know.
Yeah, social media obsession. Yeah.
Entirely possible.
Where's your mom?
I don't know. Well, I imagine we'll probably touch on that later on. Some of the fights in this show are very nice.
Mm-hmm.
They're keeping them very dynamic early on.
Yeah, they're really using their swords as swords, which we don't see too much of. Like, a lot of the times they do it little bit, and then they go to, like, shooting balls of light out of the end of their swords.
Yeah, the energy. Well, yeah, the energy slashes and things. Which, I mean, they're doing here, too.
Right, but there's an awful lot more physical swordsmanship going on here.
It's much more in line with, say, Lost Galaxy, where...
Never watched that.
Fair enough. They had the Quasar Sabers, which were the source of their powers, so it was much more sword-driven in combat. Also, in Megaforce, Troy, whenever he was using his sword, it was always very nicely choreographed. And they seem to be doing a sort of a similar kind of fencing style, which I appreciate.
I wonder if that's going to persist even when they're monsters and the swordsmen.
I presume as such.
I mean, they are knights, so I would expect them to sword more.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to duel a guy who's just made of cannons?
No, and neither of you.
This is true. But yeah, what Marissa was referring to a little earlier was back in college I went to a fencing tournament that was in Canada with the fencing club, and I did saber. That's the three different types of fencing are foil, saber, and epee. Foil is the one you classically see with the very thin blades and the little thing, and you're only supposed to poke in the chest. Epee is the beefier blade, a little bit of a beefier guard, and that one you can poke anywhere. So it's like, a lot of times it's stabbing in the foot. And then saber is anywhere from the waist up, and you're allowed to use the whole blade, and you actually have a guard over your hand. So it's more of a slashing.
Yeah, you don't have to poke them. You can bonk.
Like you can still do thrusts, but you can also do slashes. So a lot of times you're either catching somebody on the tip of the arm or smacking them on the head, things like that. And one of the
announcers
great things was when the you have the announcer telling people which events are up next, and there was this big booming announcer voice throughout the gymnasium going, "Attention, men's saber in 10 minutes. I repeat, real fencing in 10 minutes." And you had 2/3 of the room all booing, and all the saber fighters were just like, yeah. It was also funny because that was the first time I'd really because during practice, I would always just go off with the saber fighters. I didn't really watch the other matches too closely because we were focused on ours. But since, you know, they were going in chunks, I went and actually watched like some foil matches and some epee matches, and I heard the, and I'm like, wait, and so I passed one, and they're like, and this wins 3-4. I'm like, oh, how do you win 3-4? I thought you go to 5 or whatever it is. And I'm like, that's weird. And I was watching, and then I was watching, actually stuck around to watch a match, and they're like, okay, and time. I'm like, time? Wait, you have time limits? Because in Saber, because you're using the whole sword, you just dive at each other, and it's over in like 10, each round is over in like 10 seconds a lot of the time. Like, you might be able to draw it out a little longer.
I'm sure you've seen the epee, the classic epee.
The classic foil fight where
it's shuffling forward, shuffling backwards, shuffling.
So the idea that you could actually run out of time was such a foreign concept to me, because I'm just used to no, you dive and whoever gets it first gets the point. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, you don't have time to think in Saber.
I mean, you do after that initial clash, but half the time that initial clash is what does it.
Well, I'm pretty sure that, don't the epee people reset after each hit? Successful hit?
Well, you always do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, after each hit, it's like, point, you know, to whoever it was. No, I haven't done Saber in like 15 minutes. 15 minutes. 15 years. Or not 15. Close to, like 13 years.
Yeah, because you did that, you did Taekwondo, and you did Kendo.
Yes. So I forget some of the terminology because it's been 13 years. And, but yeah, once the judge, once there's been contact, because you wear electrified jackets.
And it completes the circuit.
Yeah, there's a little wire that goes to your sword, and so when your sword touches the other person, there's a wire that goes out the back of the jacket. It connects to the little score counter.
Which, when I was younger, I used to think that they were tethered on both sides, fighting against like a spool.
It looks a little like that, but they are separate spools.
No, I meant not that there was tension on the spool, rather than the spool just being there to hold the stuff, and they can go in and out as they please. I thought they were actually straining against the strings behind them, and that's why the epee fighters took so long to even try and poke each other, was because they
had to fight it. Oh, okay. No, it's not that level of tension. It's more like, you know, like the retractable dog leash.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, that was my explanation for why they were shuffling back and forth so much, is that they were being pulled backwards by their respective...
So when your sword touches the other person...
It completes the circuit.
That completes the circuit, and it causes the buzzer to go off, and the judge needs to figure out, you know, okay, who hit who, and if both people hit it once, who had, you know, the right of way. So like for foil, it's usually pretty straightforward because you don't usually get those simultaneous attacks, but
and it's pretty clear who was thrusting at the time.
Exactly, but and it's a more limited target area, and you're only using the tip of the blade. But with Saber, because you're using the whole blade, a lot of times there'll be simultaneous hits, and so they're like, okay, you initiated the attack. But you hesitated, and he got you as you were hesitating.
So he wins.
And it's a matter of, you know, who owns the attack at the time they get
That's where the complex right-of-way rules come in.
Yeah. And so when you have that snap, it's that race to see who is going to have right-of-way. And it's a snap judgment. As you see two people head towards each other, it's like, okay, who started extending their arm first? Or, okay, did this person jump forward first, but then not extend their arm before the other person, and so it was an attack and hesitation? Or, if the swords met and then there was a connection, okay, was that a beat attack where he was knocking the sword out of the way to get to the person? Or was it a parry riposte where the other person
was attacking him and he blocked it with his sword?
Blocked the attack and came in.
Which, the most wonderful example of a parry riposte I can ever think of was that, see, I do a lot of LARPing.
Yeah.
Which actually, the fighting in LARPing is not dissimilar to Saber in that you can use the whole thing and that there are targets that are valid and targets that are not.
Right.
One of the major differences, though, is that in LARP, the head is not a valid target.
Right. Because in fencing, you have the mask. So, and specifically in Saber, a lot of times you're smacking on the top of the helmet.
Well, a friend of mine, I wouldn't really call him a friend anymore because he turned out to be a total jerk. But a guy at a party, when Jake came to a party with
that's right. Okay,
and the guy came up behind him.
This was for Halloween, right?
It was a Halloween party.
It was a Halloween party. As some of you may know, I have arthritis. I have it under control now, but back when I was 25 and it first hit, I was having a lot of difficulty walking for a number of months until I found the right supplements and activity level to get myself in good shape where, as you can see in power reviews, I can now like kick over my head and stuff like that.
But when you were having that first really bad attack.
I was using a cane for a good like 6 months. And so this guy at a party comes at me with the sword and he's like, haha, I'm like, and I hold up the cane. And he like, comes at me with the sword. Clearly jokingly, but even so, he's coming at the guy with a cane with a sword, and my old instinct says kick in, and I just knock aside the sword and go, bump, and just popped him on the top of the head with the cane. Now, fortunately, it was, a hollow aluminum cane, so it wasn't that, but it was just, but I smacked that guy good. But the thing is,
the guy came after you with a latex LARP sword.
Yeah.
Which, A, he's not going for your head because he's playing by LARP rules,
right.
And B, even if you pop someone in the head with a LARP weapon, it doesn't hurt as much as an aluminum cane.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
But he should have known better because I told him you were a fencer.
Yeah. So that was.
A lot of the times people from LARP think that they are really great swordsmen.
Yeah.
When not most of them are.
Yeah.
I could think of maybe 2 people from LARP.
I'm not even that good
whose sword skills actually translate.
Yeah.
And he wasn't one of them. I'm not one of them either.
Well, I know you tend to be more of a ranged fighter as your...
Well, I've been doing ranged because I'm not great with the sword.
But
I used to be sword and board.
But like Dave, Guy, he plays Guy on Power Reviews.
Dave fences.
He fenced for years, and he was actually an assistant instructor for a while as well. He's very good. But I never ranked particularly well in tournaments.
That's the thing that actually is kind of cool about our group.
Yeah.
Because not only do we have theater friends to pull from, our theater friends
have some different combat training.
Some serious martial arts and swordsman training.
Like Tom who played the T agents for military background, so different sort of combat.
Incidentally, the guy you popped on the head.
Yeah.
Is infantry. He's Army infantry.
Fair enough.
They don't use swords in the Army.
I know. Or at least not anymore. But, anyway, what was it? Another fun one was, a good move that I had back when I used to fence was, if somebody would dive at me, I had pretty good, vertical jump.
Oh yeah, you jump over the sword.
I wouldn't jump necessarily over the sword, but the thing is, you dive in for the attack, and for like a moment you're vulnerable before you can, redirect your momentum to jump backwards again.
Right.
So but the only target area is waist up. So I would jump up and I'd get my knees high in the air, and my target area basically 1 it goes up, 2 it disappears, and then while that person is in that vulnerable moment, I just pop back down on their head with my sword as I'm coming back down. It was fun. It was my kangaroo attack.
Because you were blocking most of your target area with invalid target areas.
Yeah. And then the easiest point I ever made was when somebody was way too enthusiastic in his attack at that tournament.
What did he do? Stumble forward and face plant? You just poked him in the back?
No. He dove at me and just launched himself right at me with the sword. And I did...
You stepped to the side.
I just stepped a little bit to the side. He just landed on my sword. It's like, whoop, and then I lift my sword back up, and it's making an L. I had
to bend your sword back.
I think it's still got a little...
Kink in it? Yeah, it does. I always wondered why.
That was the reason why.
because of that guy.
So there's our little.
Sorry, we went off on a
of
sword-related tangent because these guys, these Ryusoulgers, they've got some swordsmanship.
They do, and I'm loving the ingenuity of the fights against the giant monsters without the Zords. I'm loving the Zord fights as well.
I love how she just knocked him in the ankle.
And it was working.
She did her brute force
with her
like,
beefy arms.
Yeah, her beefy. I'm sorry, brute force. It was beefy.
Beefy
soul to the ankle.
And then you had the extend soul with the stretching. He looked like he was Mr. Fantastic over there. I didn't know if he was stretching his arms or
no, that was his sword.
It was his sword that was stretching,
sword. He stretched his sword around the mouth of the guy.
But he was just like swinging around like Mr. Fantastic.
So that he had to breathe through his nose.
Right.
So that the stank soul would work. Stank. Not stink, but stank.
The stank soul. Yes, that stank soul. So that was a whole thing. So yeah, I'm digging what they're doing with things so far. They're keeping it light. They're keeping it fun. They're keeping things creative with the fights, which is definitely something that's helping. They're keeping it entertaining, which is really the most important thing I think for
I
premise
feel
like this.
The fact that they've got sort of that kind of slapstick kind of thing going on, combined with the sort of, I don't know, the general attitude of the story with like the hammer and ooey and stuff like that is differentiating it substantially from its dinosaur predecessors.
Well, we don't know entirely because we haven't really seen them in much detail. I've only seen.
I didn't get that attitude off of them. I could be wrong, but what I've seen of them, they seemed a bit more serious. And I'm kind of expecting Black and Green will be a bit more serious.
I would say maybe Zyuohger, or not Zyuohger, Zyuranger was a little bit more serious.
Which one was that?
That was Mighty Morphin.
Mighty Morphin.
But
Lost in translation. You're right.
Yeah.
Or Lost and Found in translation. You're right. That was pretty slapsticky.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then again, every Sentai goes there now and then.
Like we're seeing the comedic context of them outside the suits, which we don't get to see in the Power Rangers aspect. So you don't like Abba Ranger was a little lighter. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was goofy, slapsticky or anything, but for the most part was pretty light outside of once you delve into things with the villain and the whole Barra Killer storyline. That was the White Dino Ranger.
Yeah, I know.
And Kyryuger was. So many of them are so similar. Kyryuger was.
That was Dino Charge.
That was Dino Charge, and that, from all reports, seemed to be rather light, because they have the whole samba theme and the dancing like dinosaurs and everything.
Fair enough. They definitely pulled the samba from there. Only this time we're going Portugal and not Portugal. Well, Portuguese, but probably Brazil.
But leaning into the whole fish out of water elements and just keeping things light and fun and keeping the battles entertaining. They're working on just making sure it's an entertaining execution more so than necessarily trying to make it, find other ways of making it different from the other series, because they already have all these commonalities. They're like, okay, we know that we're trying to recapture the joy that a lot of people had from these seasons. Let's just have fun with it.
That's what I'm saying. Is I'm getting a sense that this is hammier.
Possibly.
I could be wrong, but I'm getting a sense that this is hammier.
Let me put it this way.
There's a difference between being light and funny and being ham.
Let me put it this way. Because I've only seen a little bit of Kyryuger, but I know certain elements of it. Specifically, the Blue Ranger, who was the basis for Coda. He was known for being the oldest of the team, but not in the same way that Coda was. He was a guy in his 30s, whose entire, defining character trait was making dad jokes.
Again.
So, slightly different kind of humor.
Also, I would love to hear what Japanese dad jokes sound like.
I think it's just nonstop puns. That was his shtick.
I have a coworker sits next to me at work. He's got 2 small kids, and
we're not really seeing
he brings the dad jokes to work, and I love it. And I think I might be the only one in the office who does, because everybody else just groans. Yeah. And I'm cackling because he's hilarious. He has such a great sense of humor.
But I also wouldn't say that it's that slapsticky. It's more so, really the big source of humor is Ko. He is, because he's got this goofy innocence to him, and he keeps.
The soundtrack is also supporting it.
Well, yes.
Because we're getting a lot of those like boing,
yeah,
sounds. I haven't seen that in several Sentais ago. You do hear it in Sentai, but it hasn't shown up as much as it has in these past 2 episodes. In several episodes of just like the boing, the sound moments or the frozen position moments.
Yeah. That
kind of are a particular language of comedy that often you mostly see in anime rather than live action.
Well, fair enough. I'm just saying.
I'm just waiting for a sweat drop to slide down the side of someone's face.
It's not necessarily something that's that unusual.
No, it's just refreshing to see it again.
Yeah.
Because it's been a while.
Fair enough.
Like, that was not a thing in Q Danger.
Not often, but like, you say sweat drops. We have seen balance with actual sweat drops.
That's true.
Like, I can think of examples.
Okay.
And we're only 2 episodes in.
It hasn't been this saturated in a while.
Right, we're only 2 episodes in.
We've had a lot of examples in just 2 episodes.
Yeah. We've had a few.
There were at least 3 in this episode.
Fair enough.
And then the previous one, like...
The mind wiper is the best thing.
There was that. And then there was when Ui fell over and she just was kind of like...
Yeah.
With all her limbs in the air.
Yeah, Ui seems to be the designated comic relief to an extent. Her and Ko.
But they come at it from slightly different angles.
Yeah. And actually even the father to an extent as well.
Because I think Ui is at least partially aware of the fact that she is a goofball.
Yeah.
Ko has no idea.
Yeah. Ko is fun. I like Ko.
Ko is fun. Ko has no idea he is socially inept. She knows, because she went to public school, clearly, and she only had a friend in middle school. She knows she's weird. She's self-aware of that. Ko has no freaking clue.
I feel like
he just walks into it like, I know what I'm doing. She knows when she doesn't know what she's doing. She's just like, ooh.
Like, we're only 2 episodes in, and I'm already, like, have more of a soft spot for Ko than I had at this point for, like, Lucky and Kairi and Keiichiro.
Ko is adorable.
He
knows what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he knows what he's doing.
He's trying so hard, and he's so clueless, and it's adorable.
So clueless.
We have a lot of adorable going on.
He's the most adorable example of Dunning-Kruger I've ever seen.
It's the best kind.
Yeah, because usually Dunning-Kruger is really annoying because you get someone being self-righteous because they don't know what they don't know. But this guy is just really enthusiastic because he doesn't know what he doesn't know.
I don't want to get on the Dunning-Kruger train right now. I have too many opinions.
Yes, that's why I was saying. Usually it's very make you upset kind of thing. But this has got to be the most adorable form of Dunning-Kruger I've ever seen. Because instead of making him a jerk, what it makes him is incredibly over-eager, and I've got this, I can help, I've got this, I know what I'm doing.
I'll put it this way, most of the people who dismiss higher learning, for the most part, it's usually because they are not actually capable. It's in many regards it's because they're not actually capable. Like maybe if they go through different paths.
Often a root of anti-intellectualism in individuals who have difficulty with school.
Yes, and they don't realize it, and they just think that doesn't have merit as a result.
That is more of a Jake has opinions kind of video than one of these.
Yeah, that is the painful kind of Dunning-Kruger. But the
painful kind of Dunning-Kruger
sweet and helpful
is the doctor who thinks
super cute.
The doctor who thinks because he has an MD, he knows more about computers than I do.
Yeah, that's a different kind. Everybody's got their own wheelhouses.
You're the MD, I'm the IT, and you've already broken this twice. Just let me do my job.
Yeah. Alright, so before we get off on any more tangents, we probably rolled enough on this. We had fun with this episode, and
this is probably the best ending dance I've seen in a while.
I don't know. The Q-Tama dance was pretty amazing.
Yeah, but I feel like this one's giving me a better workout.
Oh, yeah, it's got a good workout going.
We're back.
Well, you say in a while, Hunt. We didn't have one last year, and this is only our third. So this is only the second one that we've done.
On video.
On video, that's fair. But you also haven't seen...
I haven't seen a lot of the other ones, but for example, it's been a long time since Magi Ranger. And that one is my favorite still.
Well, true.
And this one might be giving Magi Ranger a run for its money.
I'm trying to think who else had dances. I think Ryusoulger had dance. I think Ninja had a dance.
I know you showed me the dance for
Ryusoulger, I believe.
For Ryusoulger, that wasn't overly great.
Yeah, it wasn't as intense as the Magi Ranger dance, that's fair. And I'd say the same thing with Ninja.
It's like, I haven't watched a lot of the series, but I do actually go and look at their dances because I think that they're really cool. This is probably one of the coolest dances since Magi Ranger, as far as I'm concerned.
I remember Go Busters had a little dance, but it wasn't much of a dance.
It wasn't much of a dance. I mean, it looked really cool.
I believe Kishiryu... I'm sure Kishiryu must have had an intense samba.
It did.
I do not recall how it went, but I'm sure that was a thing for the ending credits. That was probably the most intensive one in recent history, I would expect. So once again, we're back to our Dino Sambas.
Well, actually, Magi Ranger came after that.
No, it didn't. Kishiryu?
Wouldn't that be Dino...
Charge.
Oh, Charge! I thought we were talking about Dino Thunder.
No, that's Power Ranger.
Okay.
Kishiryu is the most recent one.
Man, I don't know my dinosaurs and how they correlate.
That was 7 years after Magi Ranger.
Sorry, I was thinking...
8 years, I think.
I was thinking of Dino Charge.
Yeah.
Dino Thunder, not Dino Charge. Yeah. I can never keep those two straight!
Anyway. So, I think that's a wrap for this week. Look forward to seeing the proper intro after we've had like 5 little preview intros for Green and Black.
During the Super Sentai Strongest Battle.
Yeah, but now we'll actually get to meet them out of suit and get an idea for who they really are.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. But until then, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you. Q, Q, Ryu, Q, 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 Q.